Hey all, Peyton Marie here with another video here, and we're going to talk about this, I guess, commemorative edition, Sergeant um, Cass, was it Castus? Um, and I guess controversy with it, you can say. Um, yeah, so we're gonna look over this article real quick. Doesn't have a whole lot in the article, and then we're gonna switch over to the Games Workshop site, which is a lot more information. So, and just up front, I'm gonna go over. There's a lot of terms and conditions that actually apply to this model that would be important for everyone to definitely pay attention to if you're trying to like think you got a plan to maybe get one in an interesting way. So definitely stay tuned for that. That's going to be covered here in a second when we go over to the Games Workshop site and get down to the bottom. But yeah, so here we are. They're celebrating Warhammer's millionth online customer, which is kind of crazy. Like, I don't. It seems weird that it's taken this long. Like how long has the store been online? That they're just now getting to 1 million. I guess it seems interesting. Like I don't know if that means their 1 millionth like unique customer, because obviously they definitely have way gone past 1 million orders for sure. They've had to have. This has got to be unique orders, I would assume. Maybe not. Maybe they're only at 1 million orders in general and not customers. I don't know. But yeah, so they got a commemorative miniature here. It's an assault intercessor, so he's got uh, the fast attack here, but he's a troop choice technically. And kitted out as such. So 1 million is a big number. 1 million points is enough for 184 or 181 warlord titans, or 200,000 aggression asterisk. I don't know why, but that's, I'm sure it's at the bottom anyway. Since we've now served 1 million online customers, we're celebrating. So that makes it sound like unique customers, not like actual online orders, but actual customers. We're celebrating this monumentous milestone with exclusive commemorative Citadel miniature. Sergeant Castus. Yeah, there's a little video. You can see he's got a headed option, a helmet option, bolt pistol, plasma pistol. All right, he looks a lot like the chap from the awesome Warhammer 40,000 cinematic trailer, doesn't he? All right, so right here, this is the key thing that is getting a lot of people up in arms, and we'll go over it more because this just has the British here. So obviously, they're saying he's free, but there is a what do you call it? An order tax, basically, a threshold that you have to spend in order for him to then become free. So it's 150 pounds, which they have like a chart later that describe the other different currencies. And so I'm going to focus more on the US currency. So yeah, and then it says terms and conditions apply. Now that's pretty key with some of the stuff they mention here, which we'll go over. All right, so this exclusive model will be added free of charge to any individual order with a checkout value of more than 150 pounds or regional equivalent until midnight the 28th. So as of like right now, the 24th of September to the 28th of October, you get a whole month basically to get yours. He won't be available anywhere else either, so don't miss your chance. And some more views of him. He's an intercessor sergeant battling the relentless Necrons, clawing at his feet from the scenic base. Is he finishing off a few damaged stragglers or selling his life dearly in glorious final stand? It's up to you, but he'll definitely cut a striking figure in your collection. Don't miss out on your chance, and that's it. So, a lot of people have also mentioned that he's on I think a 50 millimeter base, or like he can't even be played in games. They mentioned that on the Facebook, Warhammer's official Facebook, and they got a response that just said, well, put him on a 32 mil base then, and then you can play him. Or I don't see anywhere, as far as I know, there is nothing that says you can't play, models on a bigger base. It's the smaller base thing that comes into more of an issue. So yeah, so this being on a bigger base is kind of a non-issue in my opinion, because I mean it's a scenic base, sure. It could just be a centerpiece model. You could paint it up if you're a really good painter. Some kind of like competition model thing or something if you wanted to, or like just keep them on the base and play them that way. It's a cool model. You could even do there's a lot of kit bash potential here with some sort of like veteran captain, chapter master type character that's just been known for slaying Necrons or something. You could definitely make this is a good base model for a really cool character too, that you can make for your army. So let's jump over to the Games Workshop site. We'll take a little bit more look. They've got a picture of the sprue, and then we'll go over the terms and conditions, and then I'll kind of give kind of my opinion, my plan, what I'm planning on doing, and something that I'm a little bit disappointed with that would have helped me definitely reach the threshold a lot easier. But anyway, all right, so here we have another look without the helmet and the bolt pistol. So you can see he's got like a scar across his eye, and it's like a dead eye or some sort of prosthetic or something. And that I got the 360 view here. So yeah, you just spin it. So now he's got the plasma pistol and still no helmet. You see lots of little like pop mark shots scored into his armor. Kind of everywhere. They've done an interesting way of like highlighting these. I've never seen them do it this way before. Usually it's kind of just like this here, here, but these I guess are to maybe try to like look like they're still hot, like this is a recent one. Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much it really. It's very similar to the other was it Sergeant Joven? Was that a story anniversary sergeant, I believe? Where he's kind of kneeling over and it has the dead orc and the chainsword in its head. And his armor's all battle worn and stuff, very similar kind of style to that. I really like these claw marks here. That's pretty cool. Never really seen that yet. A lot of people keep pointing out this paint style that they did here with the knee, with that that I guess bullet shot or whatever right there in the armor. It makes it look like a Pokeball from Pokemon. So, all right, here's more views, just more of the same. All right, here is the look at the sprue. Again, nothing too crazy. It's pretty straightforward. Just if anything, just confirmation that we only get the two pistols, the helmet and the non-helmet, which is again pretty standard. But nothing but the chain sword here. So if you wanted to make him as a sergeant or something else, you're just gonna have to do a quick arm swap or a hand swap to get you whatever other potential power weapon you want to get, or maybe throw the pistol on a holster, put it on his hip, and throw a shield on the hand and a power sword in the other, or power weapon or power fist or whatever. Just kind of make him cool. There's a lot of opportunities with just making a really cool model. And then if you wanted to make a sergeant, then you obviously can't take like a shield with him, like one of the blade guard shields, but you could, if you wanted to, you know, put whatever power sword, power hammer, or thunder hammer rather, power fist and such. But I could also see him just making a really kind of cool battle beaten up veteran, blade guard veteran. Anyway, and then we have the box. So back to that. So let's go down, take a look at these terms and conditions, and I guess the prices as well. So right off the bat, right here, over here's the chart for the prices. So 150 pounds, 240 US dollars, which is just annoying. And like I said, well, I'll talk more on this at the end as to I guess kind of the way I thought that I could maybe reach this 240. But it's most likely not going to be able to. I'm going to have to figure out something else. I mean, I can have an idea, but still. Yeah, and then you got what 195 euros. I don't know all the different currencies here. I think it's like Japan yens, yen, yen. I think the K for these was a Sweden, Norway, Denmark are all crowns. Australian dollars, New Zealand dollars, 510. Ugh. I kept seeing this, the 420 people in Australia, but that 510 New Zealand tax, yikes. Canada dollars 300. I'm not sure what PLN is. 750. So okay, let's see here. So you got your description. Yeah, that's cool. Not really too interested in that right now. We kind of already talked about it anyway. But here we are, the terms and conditions. So you will receive one Sgt Castus miniature for every qualifying order placed. There is no limit to the number of qualifying orders you place. So yeah, sure, there's no limit to the extent of until you go broke, if you really wanted that many. Now, and in the thumbnail too, like I said, like I put on there, and this is kind of what I'm the kind of main point I'm getting at though is like, so a lot of people are in uproar about it, and I get it. And at the same time, it's like it's one of those hard things where like I get it, but I see it from both sides because in order to defeat the scalpers, you have to become the scalper pretty much. So it's like you have to put it behind a paywall. We whatever you want to say, saber rattle all day long, like you guys need to do something about this. You need to do something to stop the scalpers. This is ridiculous. Every time a model comes out, and so one of the things is like they're like, okay, well, what we can do is we have a set number of models, but we'll leave the payment up or the ordering up pretty much until a month or whatever later. But if you order it this week, you'll get your model within a week or so, or however long. Anything after that, though, we're gonna have to basically made to order. We're gonna have to order or make it, and then send it to you, and that could take a very long time. Usually it's like months difference because who knows how many models they have or how they have to go through in their production process to get started and then to get the orders out and all that. So and what we've seen from there is people getting all upset because they're like, this is ridiculous, they should have enough already made. And I get from the standpoint of like it's more cost beneficial for them to make a set number. You could throw in there too that it doesn't cost them anything but pennies or whatever to make these models, which is true. But again, just trying to think devil's advocate, if you will, so it's more cost effective to make a set number and sell those. One, they were already doing the FOMO thing, but they got so much backlash from that they try to do this. So like, okay, well, instead of the fear of missing out to drive sales, which then just gets scalpers to swoop in and get stuff before the fans do, we'll do it like this. We'll have our set number still, so those people will get it first. And yes, some of those, still ended up on eBay, people trying to scalp basically the benefit of getting the model earlier than having to wait months. But if you're willing to wait months, there's still basically like you're not gonna miss out. But people were still upset because like this is stupid. Like they should just have enough to cover it all. But then the issue there is like after everybody that gets one, now they've got like extra stock left over of an unknown number that they were unable to sell for whatever reason. So doing the made to order thing, smart. Um, this one is more interesting though because so instead of doing the made to order, they have a paywall or basically a paywall barrier that you have to meet first before you get it. So that's good. That'll definitely, I think, help with scalpers. It won't stop all of them. There will still be people that'll be like, I don't really play Space Marines. I was gonna buy this whatever army, and I get this model. Cool. Now I'm gonna throw it up on eBay. Sure, cool. That's still gonna happen, but at the same time, that's not like even necessarily true scalping. If somebody was already gonna buy a different army or whatever, and they don't play Space Marines. So in a way, it's just they're getting a little bit back for for nothing really. So I guess for those people, this is kind of a benefit for them that they'll at least get something back. But for everybody that wants this model or whatever, the fact that they have to pay this much uh, is definitely unfortunate. Like for myself, I don't. There's nothing Space Marine wise for my army that I really need, and I've cut down to only that. But yeah, we'll talk more on to that until I guess kind of what my thoughts are on that. But basically, if I didn't have these other plans or whatever, and I was really had a, and I have a strict budget I'm trying to keep to, but like if it was even like where I had, really literally only the ability if I'm gonna spend money, it has to be only for my main army, my only army, or I can only have one army because whatever reason, I could be, you know, younger, a student, you have all these other bills, you got your student bills, you're working a part-time job so you can go to college the whole time. And so you're not even making a whole lot really. And so this is a real luxury of a hobby. And anyway, so um yeah, so then your call to qualify your order must be placed at least let's see here. So this is before shipping charges, of course, and before taxes. It has to equal whatever your currency is, so 240 American. Before Friday the 20 or from Friday the 24th to the 28th. Qualifying order value means equal to or greater than the value set out below the corresponding currency applicable to the basket of Games Workshop web store. Okay, so we talked about the currencies here. So orders must be placed through Games Workshop web store at gamesworkshop.com or warhammer.com. Purchase of virtual gift vouchers will not contribute to the minimum order value, and as such are excluded from this promotion. So you can't go out and just buy a bunch of virtual gift vouchers because oh, there's nothing I really need right now, so I'll just buy virtual gift vouchers. So then when some new Space Marine stuff come out or whatever comes out that I want to get, I still have these vouchers that are useful to me. Nope, can't do that. Which I don't know. In my opinion, I think that's kind of ridiculous, honestly, because you're still getting the money, and at some point you're still going to get like something you actually might need if you already have everything that you need at this time. Like I think that is a good um, solution really to this idea of like, oh crap, hopefully something in the next month comes up that I actually need. And I'm kind of in that right now myself, which I'll talk to in a second. Um, but yeah, so then one Sgt Castus miniature will be added to each qualifying order at the web store checkout. Yeah, they already said that. Single orders totaling equal to or greater than a multiple of the qualifying order value. So here they have like 300. So for the Great British Pound, 150. So 300 is double that, right? So it says will not qualify for additional miniatures. You basically have to separate them up. Like, just because you have a 300-pound thing, they're not going to automatically add 2 into your order. You have to separate that into 150-pound orders, which I don't know how they can't like make an algorithm or something that can recognize that, okay, this is 300 qualifies for 2, 450 3, 600 4, etc. Because what that is going to do, and the exact reason why they're doing that is because your order won't always necessarily split evenly down the middle 150, right? So what that's going to cause you to do is like you might like go to split it, and now it's like, I don't know, 170 over here, or yeah, we'll say once 170, right? And then 130. So now you got to come up with another 20 pounds of something to buy for your other cart in order for you to qualify for the second one. So again, it's another way to just keep squeezing more out of you, basically. So, so returns. Now this is this is interesting too, which I mean I guess makes sense, but I didn't even think about this until I read this here. I was like, oh, that's a good thought. I would have never even thought of this. So yeah, so returns. If products from the qualifying order are returned, and the return products bring the order value below the qualifying order, then the Sgt Castus miniature must also be returned. So I was like, well, how are they going to even enforce that? Like, how can you be like, you got to send us back the free miniature if you return anything that drops it below? And then right after that says Games Workshop reserves the right to withhold refunds or returns until the model has been returned. So if you return anything, drops below the qualifying order, and you don't return Sgt Castus, you're not getting any money back until it's returned. So yeah. Um, the Okay, cool. The Sgt Castus miniature will be shipped to your order. There's no cash alternative. All orders placed are subject to the terms and conditions of sale. Games Workshop trade account orders placed through the web store may qualify for this promotion. However, for a trade account order to qualify, the value though must be the qualifying order value after applying the applicable trade discount. Okay, so pretty sure trade accounts I'm pretty sure they're stores, right? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that means for like local gaming stores, which is interesting if that's the case. They still get a discount. They obviously are not paying full price for these. So if that's the case, if that's what a trade account is like, I'm not sure if that's what it is or not. But if it is, it's kind of cool that you can, I guess, potentially end up finding them at local gaming stores. Um, Obviously they have to order more stock. And so essentially they will have to order more, even though it'll end up still costing the same. They'll get more because, again, like I said, they get a discount for ordering from them. But I'm not even sure what a trade account is in this instance. So if you know what it is exactly, if that's what it is, let me know if it's for the retail local gaming stores. And then let's see here, Games Workshop staff orders placed through the web store may qualify for this promotion. However, for a staff order to qualify, the value of the order must be, yeah, so you have a staff discount too. So again, you still have to spend the same amount, but you're going to be getting a lot more than anybody else that doesn't get a discount. So and the Games Workshop reserves the right to amend, suspend, or cancel this offer at any time. So the catch-all right there, lucky number 13. At any time they can screw you over more if they want to. So, yeah. So let me talk more on, I guess, my plan. So I do want this model. I think it's a really cool model. I'll probably, I don't know. I probably will end up converting it in some way. That's what I've done with most of them anyway, just because I like to do conversions and throw them into my army in some way. But I honestly, I don't know how much I want to convert him other than make him a veteran sergeant for the assault intercessors, which I still have not built mine that I have. Still working through the backlog of my other stuff right now. But I think it would be a cool veteran sergeant to add to a squad of assault intercessors. And as such, really the only conversion, let's see, I've got a picture here. The only conversion I do is I do the Mark III helmet plume on my veteran sergeants from the plastic kit of Horus Heresy, which those are getting harder and harder to come by that little bit. But anyway, so I'll probably just add that to the helmet here, and that's pretty much the only thing I'm thinking about doing, really. I'll definitely give him the plasma pistol, and he'll have the chain sword, and that'll be that, really. I have to look. Like I said, I haven't built my assault intercessors that I got from Indominus yet. So I'll have to look in the codex and everything and see, like, if I don't remember, I think sergeants can take other weapons other than a chainsword, right? So I don't know if I can. He may end up with a power sword or a power. I keep want to say power hammer, thunder hammer. Maybe even a power fist could make a really kind of cool like crimson fist pose with a power fist up in the air. Or imperial fist, I guess is another one I've seen do that, but I don't know. Yeah, so that's kind of it there. So now the next thing. So I really do want to get a squad of the Joy Toy incursors. I talked about that before. My son really likes the McFarlane figures and stuff, and I think it'd be cool to get those. They're a bit smaller size, and I just think would be really cool, to get that, and he can play with them or whatever. Like I'm not gonna use them as display or whatever anyway. So that would be cool. That would I could go that route and have that qualify. But again, like I said, I don't really have anything else. The only other thing that's coming on the horizon that I really want to get is the Kill Team Calnath box set, because I want to start up a Tau Kill Team. And the terrain in it I need for this upcoming project I've got going on. The sisters I don't really need. I'm still trying to find someone that I can trade with to get the Tau out of their half, hopefully, and that way they get 2 squads of sisters and the whole box set goodies, and then I can get all the goodies from the box set as well as 2 Pathfinder Kill Team kits. But anyway, The problem with that though is the Joy Toys are only going up for pre-order for 1 week. Like this coming week, they're going to be up for pre-order, and Calnath is most likely going to go up for pre-order in October, um, but probably not till second or mid October, the third week, second or third week, meaning I'm not going to be able to combine those two because I'm assuming that the Calnath box, while I really don't want it to be $200, I I'm pretty sure it's going to be $200. But yeah, so right there, then I would only need another 40, and I can't remember how much the Joy Toys are. They might not quite. I'm pretty sure they're at least $40, but on the off chance that they aren't, that would get me I think fairly close to the 240, and then I would just have to pick up a few other things, but I'm not gonna be able to do that. So most likely gonna have to do the Chalnath. So I can either wait for the Chalnath, or the other thing was, again, I have to look and see how much the Joy Toys are, because if they're not that much, I'm probably gonna have to wait till Chalnath comes out, just because that should take a big chunk out of it. And then along with Chalnath, probably pick up the start collecting Tau, because I want to get that Ethereal and the Fire Warriors to just have extra options for building a kill team. So that would probably be how I would go that route. Potentially though, if Joy Toy, um, depending on what their price point is, I'll have to look. But I don't think that they're over $100 for those. Which, if it is, I doubt. Then I may not be getting them if they're that much. um, but yeah, so I don't know what else I would do if I want to go, if I want to get Joy Toy and get to start collecting. Because that wouldn't, even if they were $100, that's what, 95 for the start collecting. So I mean, I'm still what, 30, 35, or no, 45, $45 short. Um, yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure what the plan is yet. Most likely, I'm gonna try to wait for Chalnath and hope that it comes out sometime in October, at least for pre-order. Um, I don't see it not coming out in October. So I don't think I'll have to worry about like missing out on that aspect. And then plus, if it's getting close to the end of October, then I'll have to figure out something else, because the issue there is if it doesn't come out in October and then Joy Toy is already passed, again, I'm stuck in another thing of like, okay, well, I know I want to get the start collecting box set of Tau, but there's not anything else. So yeah. All right, well, that's where I'm at on this. Let me know what you think. Uh, Obviously, do you think this is a cool model? Is this a buy, a pass? Well, not really a buy, but kind of a buy. I'm sure you're probably like most people out there. The paywall thing. Again, like I said, I don't know. It's kind of a blessing and a curse kind of thing. They're trying to. This is another avenue to go to keep scalpers from scalping, right? Is to become the scalper, create that paywall and create that barrier that's going to prevent them from, if they're going to do it, they got to put in a big investment to the point where they're probably not even going to be able to scalp this thing to make their money back or break even. So prevents that from happening, right? Like, again, like there's probably still be some instances because of people that don't play Space Marines that end up getting this. Cool, whatever. That's, in my opinion, that's fair play. But again, this is kind of, I don't know if this is necessarily a response to all the complaining that they got from the made to order stuff. But maybe this is where, you know, instead of making a limited number and then making a made to order and people were complaining about it, they made a crap ton of these, right? And now, to ensure that, even though they're, again, pennies to make, but this is a company at the end of the day, so to essentially I guess pay for or recruit the potential of having a bunch of these left sat on a shelf, um, they are doing that by having this paywall. So it's kind of like a double whammy here. It prevents people from scalping, and it also definitely makes sure that they get solid returns on making enough of these and using enough resources to have enough to meet demand essentially. And also the paywall helps kind of, in a lot of ways keep demand down, to where you don't have people just trying to order a ton of these. So a lot of things there to consider, so I think it's just kind of, you can't always come out swinging and bashing, or you can, whatever. But I just think there's a lot more to consider into why they make the decisions that they do. And at the end of the day, it's always going to be about making money. So, and I don't know the process either. Like, if these things sit on a shelf for forever, like, I don't know how hard it is for them to recycle the plastic that's used in these sprues and these models, to make these models. Like, it could be a very high cost process to then recycle this stuff for use, so, unfortunately, that's kind of the way of the world right now. We always talk about, recycle and, lessen waste and, promote reuse of materials and stuff. But a lot of the times, the processes that you have to use to then do the recycling um, end up making it cheaper just to throw stuff in a landfill, unfortunately. And again, because companies want to make profit, so where's their incentive to go the environmentally conscious way and recycle things if it's going to cost them more in the long run and potentially eventually run them out of business? Now, I'm not saying that that would necessarily happen to Gift Workshop. They're a fairly big company now, but they weren't always, right? And that's always something that's going to be considered into the overhead of how a company operates. So again, um, just another aspect to think about. It's really easy to see everything and judge everything on face value as, this is stupid, this is ridiculous, this is greed. And while sure, yeah, to a lot of it, it is, but um, again, at the same time, they're answering the call to stop scalpers, and they're also, essentially justifying to whoever their bosses are that, hey, we can cover the cost of having a bunch of these left over and sat on the shelf, or going through the process of having them recycled for use in other models, because we have this paywall that we're making enough on returns of selling additional models for people to even access this model, that it's just going to work out in the end. So that's just my opinions on this whole thing. Again, I'm not the biggest fan. I think that the paywall is pretty high in general, especially, at least speaking from the U.S. standpoint. 240 is a pretty steep price point. I think even if they dropped it to 150, I think that's a high enough price point, and I think it's a reasonable one, because that is easily a start collecting box and like a couple other units, so that right there is enough to get somebody invested into a small army to potentially start something that they maybe weren't sure about starting before, right? I think that's like the perfect price point to, one, get people to maybe to buy another army if they didn't have anything else they needed, or if they just needed a couple units or one, tank or whatever it is. That price point is more accessible for people that, don't need a lot, or maybe had an army that they weren't sure about starting, so that's, I don't know, that to me just makes way more sense. So I'm definitely not happy about the 240 price point. I'm definitely one that's, I play Space Marines. I have a Space Marine army, and I like collecting all these kind of unique characters because I think they make great base models for conversions and just and stuff in general. But I'm very much in the boat right now where if something doesn't work out soon or come up, I'm not just gonna go out and buy $240 worth of stuff I don't want or don't need just to get access to this model. It is what it is. Like, if I have to miss out, I have to miss out. I'm not in a position. I don't have just piles of dispensable or whatever income, disposable income. Got we're living in a pandemic world still. I got family to feed, and food food feeds them better than plastic models. So at the end of the day, that's what it is. and kind of kind of hope they were living in the same world that we all seem to be living in. All right, well, I guess I would close that for now because otherwise I could keep rambling and ranting about the same thing over and over and go in a feedback loop, which has kind of already been happening. But let me know what you think. What's your plans on getting this? If you already have everything, if you don't have what you need, how are you going to access this model if you want, or is this just a straight up pass? Let me know in the comments below. Again, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Check out the links in the description below to my Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and see what I got going on there. And until next time.